Good evening, friends, followers, channel members. Happy Monday. Another week is upon us. Oh, is everybody well rested from across the pond on Saturday? I really, when I see it taking place, I do think I really do need to get in on that action one day. But yeah, I'm gonna have to buy tickets for my wife and kids to go somewhere a long way away for the day out. So if I ever get a chance to be able to do that. But yeah, across the pond, awesome event, and our shout out and thanks always has to go to the air traffic controllers there, because they don't have put in one hell of a shift. But tonight we are in Edinburgh and we're heading down to Nice. So we've not been to Nice for ages, and we've got the really fun approach for you tonight as well. Runway 22 is in use, so that's the left-hand turn just before we plough into a cliff, and it's the visual prescribed tracks. So if you're familiar with that, then you'll know how great it is. If you're not familiar with it, stay watching, because this is an awesome approach. So welcome everybody coming on board this evening. Shout out as always to our amazing channel members. Hi Obi, Fruitbat, DC, Lulu, Carl, all coming on board. Jamie Whitman, good evening to you. J-Hog's in the house. Hey J-Hog. Mowed any lawns recently? Elliot and Organ Aviator, hello. Hope you're good. Jack says, don't go there, you had a power cut 7 hours into the flight. What, across the pond? No! Oh man, I can't think of much worse. that is awful. And Comic Racing over on Twitch, and Michael Jepson, good evening guys. Thank you so much for watching. SimSky Simulations, hello to you. So the operational flight plan pinned into the chat if you're watching on YouTube. Let's go through it. We'll get briefed and we'll get out of here. And we have got a beautiful sunset as well. It's actually, someone's just said in the chat, there's a gorgeous sunset here in Edinburgh at the minute. There is in the simulator as well. It looks rather beautiful. So yeah, here is the operational flight plan. We've got about just under 14.5 tons. We're underloaded by 2.5. Looking to take plug fuels around 7.8 tons. Marseille is the alternate. A nice tailwind of 25 knots pushing us down there. Cost index of 4. 370 is the plan. Runway 6 for Edinburgh goes on 1 Delta departure, 22 right. Yep, the fun approach into Nice. Plug fuel then is just under 8 tons. CNR is 2.2. Takeoff weight is we're probably going to be like a couple of tons over our max landing weight at this point. So as we depart, so worth bringing into our brief a little bit later on. Golf mate, thank you so much for the Prime sub. I really appreciate that. And Michael says, love the tutorial videos. Michael, you'll probably learn even more watching live, but thank you so much. Glad you're able to catch us on a live stream. J-Hog says he flew across the pond again this morning. I bet it wasn't quite as busy. Right, let's just have a quick look at the operational flight plan route as we head down there. That's all normal. Is there any high terrain? Oh no, there's nothing above 10,000 feet. I thought there might be, but looks like there's not. Weather in Edinburgh is looking quite nice. Weather in Nice, a 7-knot crosswind as we're coming in on that Arnav approach. So that could be quite funky. Yeah, good fun. Let's just see what the weather's doing in terms of our minimums and things. All of that is looking pretty fine. It's all Cat 1 stuff, so yeah. We've got where we got as our alternates. We've got Marseille, Bordeaux, Lyon, and Milan. So they're the alternates, and they're all okay. Let's have a quick look at the weather brief then. So what we've got down there, some showers in the vicinity, a few scattered towering cumulus, broken 1,000 feet. Visibility is great. That's what we need for the approach today. We just need good visibility, and that's what we've got. It's rather windy at Marseille, gusting 37 knots. So that could be interesting as well. Looks like interesting weather on the south of France this this evening. Malpen's, Toulouse, they're all fine. Edinburgh has got wind 070 30 knots at the moment. We'll get the latest ATC in a moment anyway, because I think we've got ATC knocking about as well, which is good. MPS says today it's just crossed the channel. Yeah, not as much water as the Atlantic Ocean. Yeah, so that's our flight route. What we got weather-wise. Yeah, so there's the jet stream, gives a bit of a tailwind. Looks like we're avoiding most of the weather. There's a little bit of ice build up there as we're coming in, but I think we're going to avoid that as well. Yeah, it looks like a really nice evening to fly down there. So that's all good. No TAMs for Edinburgh. Cranes, stands 2A and 3A permanently closed. Funnily enough, we are at stand 3 today, not 3A. Steel plates. Steel plates. Obstacle clearance heights, that doesn't affect us either. Standard instrument departure, we're not doing the Tala departures, so yeah, that's fine. And we'll have a look at Nissan route. Good. In fact, just going back to Nice, just checking there's nothing else daft there, is there? Runway and approach procedures, just get those in our brain before I have to work out about taxiway closures. No, that's fine. Alright, fuel, we're going to take that. Well, weather looks all good. If plug fuel is about 8 tons, I think with a pretty straightforward flight tonight, half a ton extra, we should be good, and that half ton is just for any holds or things like that coming into Nice, and just general. We've got the space to put it in there. Basically, if we were full, we'd take plug fuel, but we've got the space, so we'll throw an extra half ton. We'll take 8.5 tons of fuel. So just writing that down. Let's just have a look at the chart, see if there's anything daft. So we're stand 3, yeah, nice easy taxi to runway 6. Goes on 1 Delta is the plan. Straight out, left turn 640, M73, no speed restrictions. Initial climb 6,000. Transition altitude is also 6,000 feet as well. Great, so that's pretty straightforward. We'll do sort of cover that in a brief once we get in the aircraft, but yeah, that's alright. Radnav page can be popped in with the Edinburgh West NDB, Uniform Whiskey, and that, yeah, that about covers that. So let's go find our aircraft. Now, someone's just said that there is a beautiful, beautiful sunset taking place at the moment. Let's go and have a look. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so what I've done with the weather today, so obviously we did a video very recently on Active Sky, where I compared literally live streams to the weather, then to have a look in the simulator and see how it was. Personally, I thought the actual look and the actual weather representation was, I think, marginally better in default Microsoft Flight Simulator. Lots of other people also tended to agree with that. But what a lot of people are telling me is that the turbulence and wind effects are better with Active Sky, and you can actually do both, so you can pick and choose. We can get the wind, the turbulence effects all from Active Sky, but the build-up of the weather, the cloud layers and things from Microsoft Flight Simulator. So that is exactly what we're doing today. So that's if we see any turbulence, hopefully that'll be it. Although, just looking at that weather chart, to be fair, there wasn't that much turbulence, was there? So yeah. But this is yeah, this is our view. It does look quite nice. We've got some ATC on at Edinburgh as well. So let's get on board and have a look. But I just want to check, actually, just before we do anything, just check that my yeah, I thought it was going to do this. I don't know why Streamlabs has started doing this. See how jerky that is? I can fix that. Just bear with me in a moment and I will sort that. Hopefully this should work. Oh yeah, that looks like a nice smooth takeoff from Ryanair. Smoother than their landings. Okay. Yep. Oh, there we are. That's fine. Okay, hopefully that should be all good. Let's get on board then. Oh yeah, look at that. That is gorgeous cornering. We are, of course, at Purgy's wonderful Edinburgh Airport. Gorgeous scenery, isn't it? Right, so let's grab ATIS before we go any further. 131355. 131. 355. James says been doing that a lot with him as well. Just changed the camera view and it fixed it. I think it doesn't look like that in the simulator. The simulator is always smooth. It is. I think it's Streamlabs. I think there's an issue with Streamlabs. I might have to reinstall it because it's been letting me down quite a bit recently. Which now is a good time to say, if the stream dies, don't disappear. I just need to restart Streamlabs and we'll be back on. Right, where's my pen?
Aircraft type on first contact.
Oh, we missed most of that. Let's try again.
Edinburgh Information Romeo. Time 1850 Zulu. Runway in use 06. Transition level flight level 70. Surface. Wind 1109 knots.
How much?
Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Few at 1,100 feet. Broken at 3,300 feet. Temperature +10. Dew point +8. QNH 1027. Ground is open. Departing aircraft make initial contact on frequency 121.755. Acknowledge receipt of information Romeo and advise aircraft type on first contact.
Might just have to listen to that again. Maybe we're not going anywhere.
Information Romeo. Time 1850 Zulu. Runway in use 06. Transition level flight level 70. Surface. Wind 1,109 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more.
I thought that's what it
Few
said.
at 1,100 feet.
1,109 knots. I mean, technically, my aircraft should be flying already. who needs engines? Katie Pilot, good evening. Yes, bit blowy in Edinburgh tonight. All those Cessnas that have just that have been thrown away into the North Sea somewhere. Oh, that was brilliant. I did miss the cloud layer. What was that? A few clouds, 1,100 feet. Oh, okay, temperature's 10. Yeah, we're not going to need anti-ice, I don't think. I think we'll be good. We'll have hit our thrust reduction prior to that. Okie dokies. Okay, so our aircraft is in its usual turnaround state. We'll just check that. So obviously we've got our pumps off, packs are off, we're on ground power, nav logos, lights are all on. Spoilers, flaps, parking brakes, squawking 2000, yeah, that's fine. Acupressure is not yet pumped up into the green. It should get sorted when they start loading the fuel. 1027 is the QNH. That's a bit bright. Turn that down. Yeah, 1027. Audio control panel, monitoring the guard frequency. Yeah, they're fine. Leave those as they are. Switching panel, thrust levers, engine mode master. Yeah, they're fine. So 1027. That initial climb, 6,000 feet. We'll just set that up. Refueling is currently underway. Right, let's set the box up then, shall we? So IRS is 3 nav greens and aircraft status, right engines, right air cycle, and yeah, let's sort out the init A page. If that's come through. There we go. Call sign tonight is Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. Cost index 4. Temperature is 10. Winds tropo. Hang on, let me just grab that. Where's my OFP gone? 35782. Download the winds. And stand 3 in Edinburgh, 55, 56, 8 north, and 322 west. Perfect. And planned cruise is 37059. Alright then, so looking to depart on 6, goes on 1 Delta. Oh, sounds like the passengers are boarding. And then we're on the, what's the arrival? Nizar 7 Tango. For INAV Delta 22 right. Nizar 7 Tango. And I think it's near us. I'm going to have to double check that now. I think it's near us. Rings a bell. Oh, it might be NUS. Initial approach fix. I will now check that and see what it looks like. You normally get vectors anyway in directs when going into to Nice. So, and if there's no ATC, we'll obviously just vector ourselves onto that RNAV approach. Then we'll do the visual prescribed tracks. That doesn't look a million miles off. Yeah, manual, and then yeah, it'll be SOTOX. Okay, that's fine. So that is 972 miles. What's my operational flight plan got us on? 970 miles. That's fine. Great stuff. So RadNav page is what do you call it? Uniform Whiskey. And onto Init B. Okay, so fuel weight 58.5. Takeoff, sorry, fuel weight CFG is 30.6. Alternate, if we need to head there for whatever reason, is 1.2. And I've told the ground crew to give us 8.5 tons. And that one's 8.4, perfect. Takeoff weight 66.8. So yeah, as we just said a bit ago, we are going to be above max landing weight as we depart. And CFG is 28.5. Okay, let's we'll accept that and do our performance calculations for departure. So it is dry. I don't think the heavens are going to open any point soon. Flaps 1, force to go no, anti-ice off, packs off, 66.8, 28.5, and intersection data, yeah, full length. 141, 41, 44. This is where you guys can cross-check these and make sure I'm not putting anything daft in. Transition altitude 6,000, flaps 1, flex 58. And thrust reduction acceleration, I don't know, well, there's an option in the EFB now, isn't there, since they're updated to change these. Now, the one thing that's missing is I can change these. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Airline modifiable. Yeah, thrust reduction acceleration. I can change that to what is the orange airline SOPs, 800 feet thrust reduction acceleration. But the actual, so that's thrust reduction at 800 feet AGL. Unfortunately, I can't change the acceleration height to 800 feet AGL, which is, again, what the orange airline now use. So, unfortunately, nothing I can do about that. So, just save that while I'm there. What I will do is just check, but it's a noise abatement to departure here in Edinburgh. So that's going to be, where are we? Yeah, so this is going to be 910 feet for all of those. So let's just pop those in. So 910, 910. And engine out also, 910.
Wheels first, and keep your small items under the seat in front of you. These include laptops, handbags,
Okay,
and loose items.
so that's sorted. And secondary flight plan, Edinburgh is standard engine out procedure, left turn uniform, whiskey, hold at the NDB.
An overhead locker.
What's the level off altitude to accelerate? 1600 feet.
To help us ensure an on-time departure, we would kindly ask that you keep the aisle clear, enabling all remaining customers to board. Your seatbelt can now be fastened ready for departure.
So secondary flight plan, we'll copy that.
Observing this policy.
I'm going to pop in uniform whiskey. Hold is 061 and it's right turns. There we go. And of course if we have lost that engine, we'll say goodbye to Nice and just get back in at Edinburgh. Check that, straight out, and uniform whiskey should be down there. Hang on, let me just zoom in a bit. There it is. Okay, good. I'm loving the colouring. This looks gorgeous. The sun's obviously setting behind us. All right, let's contact ATC because they are online. 755. So I can see a few questions just coming in the chat. If you just bear with me, we'll get airborne, and then if you want to ask me those again, that's
Cabin crew, boarding is now complete. Any remaining
we'll have plenty of time to chat en route. Nice longish flight this evening. Kickstart our week. 121,755. Edinburgh ground, good evening, easy, 16 Whiskey Papa, A320, stand 3, requesting alpha clearance as far to Nice, and we have information Romeo.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, Edinburgh ground, cleared to Nice, Gotham 1 Delta departure, squawk 0245.
Cleared by the Gotham 1 Delta, squawk 0245, easy 16 Whiskey Papa.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, read that correct.
And 0245 for the squawk. That's in. All right, and Gotham 1 Charlie. That's what we wanted. Before I do brief it, let's just check how final company messages come in. So takeoff weight 667. We plan 668, and C of G for departure is 28.7, 0.2% out. So that's perfect. Hutchie, who's on Twitch, is actually the ground controller who we've just spoke to. Brilliant, fantastic. Thank you, Hutchie. Good to see you multitasking. Yeah, thanks for being here. I'm just going to turn these screens down because they're a bit bright, aren't they? Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of that. Good stuff. Okay, let's brief stuff. So we're going to disregard the ATIS. Certainly disregard the winds that it's given us. The actual surface wind is 110 at 9 knots. But yeah, we've got good visibility. It's all dry. A few clouds. 110. Temperature is 10 degrees. But as we've just seen, our thrust reduction acceleration is about 900 feet. So anti-ice is not going to be on for today's departure. Aircraft is fully serviceable. We've just got the usual weather radar. It's not working, sadly. No NOTAMs, and we'll go through the associated briefing for departure and any threats that we can come up with. So, pushing back stand 3, our taxi will be Echo Alpha. We're going for full length departure today, right down at the bottom. Gozam 1, is it? As it goes on 1 delta, yeah, straight out and left turn 640 feet, climbing 6,000 feet, MSFS 3,000, little sector there, then 3,004. No speed restrictions, so we'll just clean up on schedule as we go. So that's straightforward. The engine out procedure is standard here, so should something go bang after we've passed V1 and we've lost an engine, then we'll climb out. I'll trim the aircraft, get the autopilot on, obviously climbing 12.5 degrees pitch initially, following the SRS commands, and then once we're trimmed out, engage the autopilot, pull the heading bug, continue on a straight heading, and then once we're 400 feet we'll confirm the engine failure and go through the usual ECA actions to sort out shutting that engine down and getting it safe. Once we are above 1600 feet, then I'll push the level off, we'll accelerate away, climb, retracting flaps on schedule, and then we will make a left turn back towards the Uniform Whiskey holding point, where we'll probably hold there 4,000 feet, as that's nice and safe. Threats to be aware of then, not too many in Edinburgh, it's pretty straightforward, don't need to overcomplicate it. There is a bit, it's not shown here, but there is a bit of terrain to the south of the field, hence why if we have lost an engine we make a left turn, not a right turn. But other than that, yeah, it's very straightforward here in Edinburgh, which is which is nice for the first stream of the week. Okay, so that's all done. Let's get the APU up and running. I think fuel has been fully loaded. Yeah, there we go, 8.5 tons. That's all balanced. Standby. This is still rather bright, isn't it? Okay, let's pumps back on. Seatbelt signs can come on as well. And just before pushback, the legend Dark Fury gifting 5 Easyjet Sim Pilot channel memberships. Dark, amazing support. It's why you're a legend, mate. Thank you so much for supporting us. So I'm just waiting for the APU to begin. Nearly there. There we go. Right, so APU obviously now powering our aircraft, so I'll tell the ground crew that they can get rid of our GPU, remove chocks and cones, and get the APU bleed on. Let's call over the GSX ground crew. Okay, where's my checklist? So, copy prep checklist. Aircraft acceptance has been completed. Fuel quantity is 7.5. No, it isn't. It's 8.5 tons, balanced. Seatbelt signs are on. It is. I've got 3.5 greens, and the QNH is 1027. Cross-checked 100 feet. We're good. Here they come.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Taxi Hornpoint Alpha 1, runway 06 via Foxtrot and Alpha.
Didn't sound very
Alpha
Scottish,
1,
did
runway
he?
06 via Foxtrot and Alpha, Speedbird 988.
Oh, someone's just put a penny in the meter and turned all the airside lights on. Fantastic. Edinburgh ground Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, stand 3 is ready for push and start.
Completed. Bypass pin insert.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, stand 3, push and start approved, face north.
Push start approved, face north, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. Before start checks, so parking brake is on, takeoff data has been confirmed, windows are closed, EFP is on flight mode, doors closed, not armed, beacon light
Locking gear.
is on. Hey, Ewald. Good to see you. Good to see you on stream. So facing north.
Release parking brakes, please.
And parking brakes released.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
And nose wheel steering is disconnected. Start the timer. Engine mode selected to ignition and start engine 1.
Cabin crew, arm doors and cross-check.
Don't you dare start raining. Elliot's saying that everything looks absolutely amazing as the sun's dropping. Yeah, it's the best time in the sim to fly, isn't it? Sunset. Absolutely amazing.
Safety features of our Airbus A320 aircraft. Thank you.
Looks like someone set the terminal on fire.
Airbus A320. Please pay attention to illuminated signs and crew instructions, including the following safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit.
Sam Bass, thank you for the follow.
Seabird 988. Tower's just logged on over, correction, Tower's just logged off over to radar now, 121.205 left.
121.205. Thank you very much, Speedbird 988.
Okay, engine 1 stabilised. Start engine 2 in a moment. Just getting the secondary frequency ready. Engine 2 start.
Please set parking brakes.
Parking brake set.
Edinburgh ground, Golf Alpha Delta on stand 102, request push and start.
Golf Alpha Delta, stand 102, push and start, approved, face north.
AJ, why not engine 2 start? Simply because,
Golf Alpha Delta.
well, apart from it being standard operating procedure, normally the orange airline use single engine taxi a lot of the time.
Stand 8, push and start, approved, face west.
And to do a single engine taxi, you have engine 1 running. And so to keep things continuous, yeah, Easyjet will always start engine 1 first.
Pass the tapes around your waist and click together. Pull the strap to adjust
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
the aircraft. When outside,
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Engine 2 available.
fails to inflate or needs topping up, blow into this tube. There is a light and whistle for a
Dark Fury, the sound pack. Have you changed the name of the folder again that I need? I've just realised it's playing the default emergency briefing rather than the Easyjet one.
information regarding your safety.
Brandon, this is my first flight with Active Sky using just the turbulence settings, so I guess we'll find out together. So there he is. He's waving the pin at us. Tug drivers out the way.
You can turn on a reading light using the controls above your head or in your armrest.
Okay, so APU bleed can come off. Anti-ice not required. Can get rid of the APU as well. And spoilers, rudder, flaps. Set our trim for tonight, which is pretty much where it was anyway. After start checklist, so anti-ice is off. ECAM status is checked. And pitch trim's 28.7, rudder is neutral. It's not a long taxi, a little flight control check while we're here then. That's interesting. Alright, we'll activate the SD page ourselves. Now, full left, full right, neutral, full up, full down, neutral, rudder, full right, full left, neutral. Okay. I don't know why that didn't want to work. Ground Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, ready for taxi.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, taxi 1 point Alpha 106 via Echo and Alpha.
Holding point Alpha 1 via Echo Alpha for runway 06, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. Cancel master caution. And Simism on the ECAM. Disregard. Clear ECAM. Dark Fury, my my MOC, so you know what's happened. That's good.
Cabin crew seats for takeoff.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for takeoff.
All right, wonderful, thank you. White Eagle, is that the chair creaking on me? Oh, it's me.
Shuttle 9 Delta requesting taxi.
Shuttle 9 Delta, taxi straight ahead, hold Foxtrot 2.
Taxi straight ahead, hold Foxtrot 2, Shuttle 9 Delta.
Alright, so, no change to our performance. Everything's as planned. Engine out procedure, standard, straight out, 1600 feet, level off, left turn. Hold uniform, Whiskey 4000. Departure is, goes on 1 Delta, straight out,
continue taxi Alpha 1,
left turn at 640 feet, no speed restrictions, and stop climb 6000. Right, now so we're on the straight bit. Let's run the taxi checklist. So flight controls have been checked.
Golf Alpha Delta.
Flap setting, config 1.
6 Airbus 320 Neo.
Climb nav blue, 152, 6000 blue.
27, request clearance.
Radar predicting wind shear is on. ECAM memo. Takeoff.
Divert 6
Blue.
standby, Golf Alpha Delta, continue taxi on point Alpha
EFB
1
is
via
stowed.
Echo and Alpha.
And disconnected.
Hold about Alpha 1 by Echo and Alpha, Golf Alpha Delta.
Divert 6, you are clear to Inverness as filed, Grice 34 Delta departure, squawk 0263.
Clear to Inverness, Grice 4 Delta departure, runway 6, squawk 0263, speedbird 6.
Divert 6, we're back correct, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, contact Edinburgh radar 121.205, thanks for flying.
121205, and thank you for the ATC. Easy 16 Whiskey Papa.
Super.
No rush to get to the holding point anyway, it looks like an inbound. Sim Pilot, quick question. How do you flare on the Phoenix? Best thing to do, there is a full video dedicated to flaring on my YouTube channel, same name, Easyjet Sim Pilot. If you do just a quick search for Easyjet Sim Pilot and when and how to flare, I think the video is called, something like that.
Edinburgh radar, good evening, Shuttle 9 Delta with you, Alpha to Alpha 1.
Shuttle 9 Delta, Edinburgh radar, good evening.
Edinburgh radar, good evening, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa is holding Alpha 1.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, Edinburgh radar, good evening. Behind the landing company A320 on short final, runway 06, line up and wait behind.
Behind the landing company A320, runway 06, line up and wait behind. Easy 16 Whiskey Papa.
Ryanair 4 Bravo Charlie, descent altitude 3,000 feet.
3000 feet, Ryanair 4 Bravo Charlie.
Oh, I do like to watch a
Bravo
landing.
Charlie, turn right heading 030 degrees. When established on the localizer 06, descend with the glide path.
Heading 030, once established, descend with the glide 06, Ryanair 4 Bravo Charlie.
Tom Cup,
Good 988, nothing further now.
I've
Monitor Unicom
definitely not come
122.8,
across
climb
that
out discretion,
issue.
Bye-bye.
I would suggest maybe a reinstall.
Monitor Unicom 122.8 for Speedbird 988. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Much as I'd love to watch his landing in full, we need to get lined up because there's another aircraft coming in. So let's line up. And the lineup checklist. So our cabin is secured. Takeoff runway is full length 06. TCAS T8 RA. Packs 1 and 2 are off. Organ Aviator, no, I'm on the mini FCU, the Wing FCU. I've honestly, it's been hit and miss as to whether it's connected up to the sim or not, and I haven't got time usually to muck about trying to get it to work and restarting the sim.
Easy 858 Tango, vacate to the right when able and contact ground 121.755. Bye bye.
121.755. Vacate to the right. Easy 858 Tango.
Okay, ready to go when we've got clearance.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, runway 06, clear for takeoff, surface wind 090 degrees, 8 knots.
Clear takeoff, runway 06, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. I prefer those winds. Right, takeoff. Start the chrono. So engine 2 critical. Engine stable. Manflex, SRS runway, ultra thrust blue. Takeoff thrust set. knots. Love that purple control tower. Promise I wasn't looking at it, I was focusing on the runway. V1. Rotate.
Radar, call Bravo, Alpha Delta, number 2 on holding, point Alpha 1, Beechcraft Finger.
Golf Bravo, Alpha Delta, Edinburgh radar, good evening, hold.
Positive climb, gear up.
Hold position, call Alpha Delta.
Nav. Right turn. First climb. Autopilot 1 engaged.
Shuttle 9 Delta behind the landing, Ryanair 737 MAX on a 3-mile final, runway 06, line up and wait behind.
Behind the Ryanair 737 MAX, line up runway 06 behind, Shuttle 9 Delta.
Fourth bridge looking very nice.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, report your passing altitude.
2,300 for 6,000, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, thank you, climb now, flight level 120.
Flight level 120, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. Okay, flap 0, spoilers disarmed.
Edinburgh approach Easy 6473 with you, 16,000 to
Open
7,000.
climb, and
6473
blue.
Good evening. It's information Sierra Vector
Anti-ice on.
runway 06, descent flight level 70.
Descent 070, inbound ILS 06 with information Sierra, Easy 6473.
Oh, this cloud's just going to block a beautiful view of Edinburgh.
Full Bravo Charlie, clear stand 06, 090 degrees, 8 knots.
Just line clear line for Bravo, Ryanair for Bravo Charlie.
C6463 will vector you straight in, fly heading 330 degrees.
Was that a call for Easy 6473, my apologies.
Okay, spoilers flaps, gear.
6473, fly heading 330 degrees.
Lights off.
330 degrees, Easy 6473.
Cabin crew's released.
And 4 Bravo Charlie, thank you. Edinburgh ground 121.755. Bye bye.
121.755, Ryanair 4 Bravo Charlie, thanks. Yeah.
Shuttle 9 Delta, runway 06, clear for takeoff, surface wind 090 degrees, 8 knots.
I'm using the passive active sky mode.
Shuttle 9 Delta.
So if we do get any turbulence, it's going to be down to active sky. But all the clouds and the actual weather, etc., is Microsoft Flight Simulator, which I found does the weather better than active sky. This is where we get a sunrise as we climb up. Right, might get a little direct. Sometimes we do, which is quite nice. Saves a bit of time and fuel, of course. All for saving fuel.
Golf Alpha Delta via Alpha 1, runway 06, land.
Angus McTavish, good evening, my friend. Says it's just about to pass Ribble on the way up to Inverness. Give you a wave.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, nothing further now. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Bye bye.
122.8. Thanks for the service. Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. Right, above 10,000 feet, so airports on the EFIS, Radnav page can be cleared out. 370 is planned, 35 is optimum, yeah, it's a bit close to the max, so we'll go 35. 350 blue, there we go. And secondary flight plan, copy the active. Cost index of 0. And we're away. Next stop, Nice. If you enjoyed the stream so far, guys, I want to do us a little favour, then do hit the like button on the stream if you're watching on YouTube. Really does help with the algorithms there, so thank you to those that have done that. It is, we're above 10,000 feet now, everything's happy, so we get the anti-ice off, seatbelt signs, they can come off. Loving this. Absolutely loving this. That is a gorgeous sunset. Langers, how do you decide whether to use the packs on or off for takeoff? Is there a rule to follow? Langers, it's usually company policy. I think most airlines actually leave them on, but we're cheap. So we give better performance to the engines, and it saves a little bit of fuel and wear and tear by having the packs off. Sci 120, you're on your way to tackle the 08 approach at Innsbruck. Anyone got any tips? Yes, you're not allowed to do it at night unless you've done it in the day. So hopefully you have done it in the day before. Igor, thank you so much for subscribing. Appreciate that. Dan Slater, I think mine is the 12, yes. I think. I'm really not a tech person. My MOC Dark Fury built this PC for me. It's the 3060, but I think it's the 12 gig RAM. Right, Dark? If it's still there. Erebeth, I've not tried the inner builds yet. No. I'm going to wait till it's out of beta, and then I can give it a fair sort of comparison. Oh, Dark, I know why the camera tear was there. It was because I was... yeah, it's because I just got the wrong mode selected. Should be back to normal now. Oh, guys, how good does that look, though? That looks awesome. Oh, that's one of my favourite views. Matty, any chance I could quickly explain the cost index and what it's all about? Oh, Matty, quickly explain cost index? Okay. The lower the cost index, the less fuel you use, but the longer your flight time, so the higher your engineering costs are. The higher the cost index, the more fuel you use, but the flight time is less, so the wear and tear on the engines is less. Does that make sense? I was wondering what this was here. It's the shadow, isn't it? The sun's shining through the glass at the other side. Absolutely stunning. Lulu, that was the other option I was going to mention. The, I mean, Innsbruck is a special case. PAX APU on, usually there as well, and then the PAX don't matter. But if if you're really high up with the altitude, turn the PAX off and let the APU bleed sometimes. Take the load. Jayhog, is this active sky? Only for turbulence, Jayhog. Only for turbulence. Where the hell are you going, Airbus? That was weird.
Traffic, easy 124 Golf, 10 miles final runway at 23. Glasgow traffic.
Okay, let's do a direct to Lussiv. Seriously, what are you doing? Stupid aircraft. Just because I like the sun doesn't mean I want to fly towards it. That was a proper case of Airbus case of what's it doing now. Burka K, thank you so much for subscribing. Jamie, this is why you still call it a scare bus. It's not scary, you've just got to sometimes manipulate it a little bit to do what you want it to do. Daft aircraft. Never lets me down. Usually. Aviator Chill, good afternoon. Digger, do I find the Wing FCU is wobbly or unstable when mounted on the desk? Mine isn't mounted on the desk at the moment because I'm still using the mini FCU. Whilst I think the full-size thing looks amazing, feels amazing, I just find it temperamental with its driver at the moment. Sometimes it connects, sometimes it doesn't, and it's a bit of a pain sometimes that, as I really need it just to work. Okay, direct Elvis. Christian, I did see your mocking. I just didn't read it out. And actually it's black. just to prove I did read it. Do we have a release date for Beyond ATC yet? Not yet, I'm afraid. Hey, Flightbox, good evening. Absolutely loving the high altitude contrail there, apart from the fact he's flying straight towards me and we're climbing. That is a gorgeous view though. JB, if you're using passive mode in active sky, just set it to live weather. So all the cloud layers that you can see here and things and the winds are from Microsoft Flight Simulator. But any turbulence or wind shear or you know, if you're flying through a storm, that kind of stuff, that is all active sky. So hopefully that makes sense. Mark, thank you for subscribing. Good to have you on the channel. Matthias, is the moon from active sky as well? No. The moon is just Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah, it's always looked that good. Right, I want to actually check my plane goes where I would like it to go now, as we just hit this point. Oh, there we are. Good Airbus. Tolman Mike says, flying into Manchester from Brussels has never been so stressful. Why? Why? Hardle, my graphics settings, I've actually got a video on my YouTube channel if you want to go and check that out after the stream. Yeah, just search for Easyjet Impilot and graphics, and it'll show you what my graphics settings are, one by one. Michael, do I fly for a virtual Easyjet airline? No, I don't. No. My MOC has just messaged me. I'll get back to you later, mate. Oh, what's that? Okay, silence master caution, side stick fault again. Okay, we can disregard this. Hate the fact that this keeps coming up because I've done everything I can to try and fix it. I need to speak to the devs and work out what that problem is. Okay, clear recap. And disregard. Lovely. Okay, bit of a cloud layer up here, but it's now cold enough not to bother with the ice. I'm sure that moon's just got bigger. I mean, we are flying towards it. Dan, have I got a link for the YouTube channel? It should be in the channel description, mate. But if not, just type in Easyjet Simpilot and you should find it. Renly, that's no moon. Yes. Is the sun gone now? It's just popping down, isn't it? Fort L says it just landed at Nice for the first time. See, which approach did you do though? Did you do the? Did you do an RMP AR or an ILS? There's only one ILS you can do there, isn't there? But yeah, very nice. James is now going to be singing "Fly Me to the Moon" the rest of the day. Well, that's strange. I'm thinking the Star Wars main theme. Yeah, so these cloud layers that you can see now, which look great, this is not active sky. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator. We can see the Earth's shadow starting to come up as well now. Again, beautifully done in the sim. It is my favourite time to fly, I think, just as the sun's setting. Melvin, does RMP mean a visual approach? To a certain degree. So an RMP approach is an instrument approach, but it is a non-precision instrument approach, which means it will get you down. The idea of it is to get you down close enough to the runway and below the cloud layers to be able to see the runway, disconnect the autopilot and then land manually. You can't auto land with an RMP approach. So RMP stands for Required Navigational Performance. It's what used to be the old RNAV approaches, area navigations, but the aircraft have now been sort of updated and things, which an RMP approach means that the aircraft is always continuously sort of analysing its position to make sure it's in exactly the right place, and if it's not in the right place, then you can't fly the RMP approach. But yeah, RMP now is just the new fancy name for RNAV. 331 Charlie, what is the current mood regarding active sky? Just started watching it. Sorry. Oh no, don't be sorry. Well, I don't know how many people have actually got active sky in the chat. So, I mean that's a great question to ask, isn't it? So, have you got active sky? Time for a poll, I think. So we'll start that running and see what happens. So if you guys want to answer that for me, that would be great. We'll see how many people have actually got it, and then you can let me know whether you like it or not. Melvin, what confuses you is that all the approaches are green light that basically takes you to the runway. Why doesn't all approaches then? Why aren't they like auto land approaches? How do they differ? So the only approach which the aircraft can auto land on is well, this is like a GPS approaches are coming, but they're not there yet, so we can disregard that. But it's an ILS approach, only an instrument landing system approach. You can pop the autopilot on and say, aircraft, take me down to the runway. All of the others are not quite accurate enough to get you bang on that runway centerline. All of the others, they're close, but they can't land. They can't land you. You still have to do that. Kimmy, that is a very good point. I should have said, I meant, have you got Active Sky, but for Microsoft Flight Simulator? That is probably a point I should have added to a little caveat to that. What a shame. Great name. Thanks for subscribing. And Annalie Shaw, thank you for subscribing as well. Good to have you on board with us today. Cy120 says, after all the reviews online, you gave Active Sky a miss. The Flightbox says, with default weather being so good, you'd rather spend money on new aircraft and scenery. I think a few people are saying that, to be honest. Um, 331 Charlie. Now, I did have Rex weather when it came out. I haven't used it for years, though. I had it as a backup there, so it was ready to go if the servers at Microsoft failed, which they did occasionally, but they haven't done for a while. So, yeah, I've not had it. I've not had it installed. But I don't want METARs to be injected around my aircraft. I want to fly from one part of the world to another and see the weather systems changing, which is exactly what you get with Microsoft Flight Simulator's weather. Right, that is Mac Alt Star. We're not going to get Alt Cruise because we're only going to 35, and plan was to go 37. 37 is... oh, maybe in a little bit we'll get up to 37, so let's just set 35. So we'll set 35 now. We should get Mac Alt Cruise, which we have. We'll set TCAS 2 below, and we'll go back to cost index of 4. We'll cycle the SD pages, make sure they're all behaving. So nothing abnormal with the engines. Bleed air, that's fine. Yeah, cabin pressure's all good. All the electrics are working. Hydraulics good. Fuel, yeah, that's fine. We've used around 1.7 plus 6.8. Yeah, so it's about 8.5, which is what we departed with. So that's a good thing. APU obviously. Temperature conditions fine. Yeah, doors closed. Good. One up on Boeing, and the brakes fine, flight control, computers, they're all working, system pages fine. Anything on the overhead that's illuminated that shouldn't be? No, that's fine. Excellent. Katie Pilot also saying as well, yeah, Katie, nice to see the weather on the horizon become a reality as you fly towards it rather than having weather injected periodically. I always remember, this is going back to something like Flight Sim 95 or 98 or something like that. Might have even been a bit later, sort of when the weather started to look a little bit more like weather, about around Flight Sim 2000, 2002. I always remember that you could sort of take off in that simulator, fly towards one particular cloud, but when you got there it wasn't really there. I don't know how they did it. It was very clever. From the ground it looked awesome. When you got up close to the weather and the clouds, they looked rubbish. Whereas here you can actually pick out a random bit of fluffiness, point your aircraft towards it and fly into it and through it, and it's really there, which is again just testament to how far we've come in the world of flight simulation, I guess. So I'm just having a look at the poll that I'm quickly running on YouTube. Oh wow, okay, so this is interesting. So 82 people so far have voted. Have you got Active Sky? 70% of people said yes, and 83 have said no. Wonder how their sales have been. I know loads of people have got it, and I don't know, it might get better with time, but I just think it's the wrong time to release it. I would maybe have sat on it. I might have sat on it till Flight Sim 2024 came out. But I think what it should do is its real USP should have been the turbulence effects. But again, Microsoft Flight Sim 2024 should do that. We'll have to wait and see, won't we? Gabrielle, what do I think of Progressive 747 retirement? What, losing the Queen of the Skies? It's a necessity, but obviously it's sad. We've obviously still got lots of cargo 747s, which is great. I know Lufthansa as well. They're still operating their 747-800s, which is fine. But I think now, am I right in saying, somebody will be able to correct me on this, but am I right in saying that Lufthansa is the only airline now that you can actually fly a 747 on? I might be wrong with that, but yeah, I think that might be one of the very few airlines left. Old man, good evening to you. Okay, let's get some en route weathers then. So, let's see what's occurring. We'll do a fuel check as well. Oh, first officer, sign out. So if we have a look then, Manchester, not a million miles away, make sure that's all good. Might as well check out Gatwick. Just looking at our flight route, what we're doing, where we're going, what our airports are we headed near. Paris, CDG, so I'll send that off. Have a look at Lyon as well. Might as well have a look at Nice. So Manchester 270 at 1 knot, that's nice. Tempo 4 kilometers, visibility with a bit of rain and drizzle. We've got Gatwick 320.5, that's wide open. Paris, Cav OK. Oh, it's nice weather everywhere. Cav OK into Lyon, and our destination 3508 knots. Visibility is good. As I said, the visibility coming into Nice is the main thing. Easy ops, no ADC required. Bossing it. Right, let's do a fuel check then. We are about to pass Obuni. So what did we, what fuel did we take? 8.5 tons, so we took about 500 kilogram extra, 200 kilogram contingency, so should have about 0.7 tons extra. Where are we? Abomi. So we should have about 6.5 tons in the tanks. We're 6.5. Excellent. Lulu, Lufthansa still operate the A340 as well? Do they? I mean, that's got to be the rarest passenger plane now, hasn't it? The A340. Although, does Swiss Air still operate those? Swiss Air had them as well, didn't they? EGCC giving us a wave in Twitch. Funnily enough, we're about to fly over you. You're about 30 miles ahead of us down there somewhere. Too much cloud cover, sadly, for us to be able to see. Dark Fury says, Air China, Korean, Lufthansa, Asiana and Saudi will continue to offer regular flights with their 747s. Oh, I didn't realise that... didn't actually Air China, yeah, fair enough. Korean Air, didn't know about that. Asiana, didn't know about that. I didn't even know Saudi had them still running. That's interesting to know. Doesn't seem that long ago since KLM got rid of their 747s, does it? But I do see, quite regular, I do see Lufthansa 747s overhead us on their way to and from America. Heading usually into Dusseldorf, I think it is. So how many people picked up Oslo then? Wow, what an airport that is. That is another Brussels-esque kind of scenery, isn't it? So much good stuff going on there. And is it Frankfurt, the next mega airport they're meant to be bringing out? I thought Aerosoft were also meant to be bringing out Malpensa, which I really do want. That would be a fantastic base. Once Malpensa comes out, we're going to have to base ourselves there for a week, I think. Nico, I can't show any menu settings whilst we're flying live, I'm afraid. Old Man says was watching the video on demand of or the video of AE Beyond ATC. Really looking forward to it and taking it out for a spin when it's released. Yes, yeah, it is. It's very good. What I would like to do is at some point on the channel as well in the future, we are going to be having a look at the other air traffic control add-on. More expensive, but not on rails, and that is Say Intentions. Now that one is, it's about $30 per month, this one, but we'll let you guys see that live on stream very, very soon, and we'll take that for a spin and see what that's like. SWAT and TikTok Ben DM, thank you so much for the follows, guys, on Twitch. Hope you're doing well. Cook Scotland says, love Orbex Oslo. The new one might be better, but you're happy with the Orbex one. Well, that's it, because there are a lot of people competing for Oslo, because Oslo has got incredible freeware. It has got, I mean, payware quality freeware available. It's also got the Orbex one, and now, of course, it's got the, it's got, oh, who is it? It's Aerosoft, isn't it? Yeah, which is absolutely brilliant. Uh, 331 Charlie says Frankfurt is next, but in my opinion, on flightsim.to there is an outstanding version of the airport. I've not seen that, mind you. Easyjet don't fly there. That's probably why. That's probably why I've not seen it. Mad Dog Moody, that's a great stat. The A340, the oldest active A340 is 32 years old, and the youngest is just over 13 years old. So you'd think that the youngest still got a good 20 years in it, maybe. The problem is it's got 4 engines, and they cost a lot, don't they? They cost a lot of money, particularly when you compare it to things like the Dreamliner and the A350, stuff like that. I was wondering if we were going to get a glimpse of Manchester. I think we're overhead, so I don't think we're going to see it. Mad Dog gives us more A340 facts. Lufthansa remains the leading commercial airline for A340, more than 25 aircraft in its fleet. Switzerland A340 operations by Swiss International Airlines and Edelweiss. Oh, I forgot Edelweiss have got them. Edelweiss, what an airline, what a livery. That is one busy livery. Lulu, 30 years, how long it takes the A340 to climb to cruising altitude. It's a slog of an aircraft to get up, isn't it? Now, I remember reading, and I am going to paraphrase this, because I can't remember it exactly, and I only think this is there's a bit of truth to this, but basically, when Airbus came up with A330 to obviously compete with the 767, etc., then, oh, hang on, cancel master caution. Side stick fault on the ECAM, okay, we can disregard, clear ECAM. Yeah, when they came up with the A330 to compete with Boeing and their long-haul wide bodies, it was airlines in Europe that wanted a 4-engine jet, So then they could obviously take shorter routes across large distances, because ETOPS plays a massive part. You know, you lose one engine, you still got three, whereas obviously with a dual engine aircraft you lose one, then you've only got one left. Now I say I am paraphrasing something I read a long time ago, but I think that's one of the reasons, the only reasons why Airbus actually went down the route of creating a 4-engined version of the A330. Oh dear. Sounds like someone's breaking into the cockpit on that flight. And they sound aged about too. Mark says, used to know the chief flying instructor for Virgin's A340s. Is he out of a job now? Or has he transitioned? To another plane, I mean. Jose, am I using Active Sky? I am, but only for wind layers and cloud turbulence and things. Although we didn't really have much turbulence, so it didn't seem like it as we were flying out, did it? So, yeah, not quite sure what was going on there. Christian, what's going on there? Oh, I have no idea. Sounded interesting though, didn't it? Sounded like a dad that had just got a spare couple of hours during his child's nap to be able to play, and then it all went wrong. The child woke up. Right, so got Birmingham coming up, Manchester is behind us. The Law Guy 1, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate that. Ooh. Okay, master caution. Alright, let's fly this aircraft. So, Mach Alt Cruise Nav, still got autopilot, auto thrust. Looks like we've just lost green hydraulics. Okay, we're safely flying. Autopilot has not been affected. Workload management still good. 35,000 feet above Birmingham. And we're probably going to just have lost Nice. Alright, we're safe at the moment, but we probably need to just hold somewhere whilst we sort this out. We're not on ATC at the moment, we are on Unicom, so I think I'm going to throw us into a hold at Honningley, and then we're going to work through this. Well, this just got interesting, guys. Okay then, so if I got someone sat next to me, I'd take control of this, and then it would be my radios and ECAM actions. So there's no one sat next to me. Looks like it's just going to be me. Okay, ECAM actions then. So hydraulic green reservoir low level is the failure. That's confirmed down here, and engine 1 pump fault. Okay, So any OEBs, we can't do those because, well, we're in the sim, so we don't have any operational engineering bulletins or anything like that. We're just going to work through our ECAM actions. So the PTU we turn off. Green engine 1 pump off. So green reservoir low level, green 1 pump low pressure, green system low pressure. Yeah. Okay. Okay, clear. Okay, associated failures. Wheels page, we've lost spoilers 1 and 5 on both sides. We've lost normal brakes, and we have also lost auto brake. And the flight control page just confirming as well, we've lost spoilers 1 and 5. Those weren't extended at the time of the failure, so there shouldn't be a fuel penalty for this. Alright, so we just stop ECAM. We are about to enter the hold. I'm just going to check that we've not got any ATC knocking about, which I don't think we have. Okay, so let's continue ECAM, clear flight control page, and now let's just have a look. Alright, so landing gear gravity extension is going to be needed. That means we can obviously drop the gear. Once we've dropped it, we can't get it back up. We need to apply landing distance procedure because we've lost the brakes. So alternate yellow brakes with anti-skid. Flap slats will be slow. Cat 2 only. In-op systems. Green hydraulics. Left side stick. Disregard left side stick. Left side stick's nothing to do with this failure. That's the sim. Spoilers 1 and 5, which we've confirmed. We've lost those. Cat 3. So no Cat 3 for our landings. Lost the normal brakes, lost auto brakes, landing gear retract, we've just mentioned. Reversal 1 is now in op. Green engine 1 pump is in op, and yaw dampener 1 is also in op. Okay. So let's review. So we know what's happened. We've diagnosed that. Basically, we've just spilled out hydraulic fuel all over the English countryside on the green system. We're going to need to do a landing distance calculation. Current state of the aircraft is fine as it is, but what if? Yeah, what if we now lost another system? What if we lost blue? What if we lost yellow? That's not a great place to be in. We've got redundancy, as is the beautiful Airbus, but do I want to continue to Nice now? I mean, we're still over the UK. We're like a quarter of the way through the flight. Do I want to continue flying another 700 miles with this? Probably not. So what we would do, we would, let's just get off frequency. What do we do? We'll probably contact ops and say, right, aircraft's busted. Where do you want us to go? Because I'm not taking it to Nice. We've got a couple of options then. We'd probably want to go somewhere where there is a decent EasyJet hub. We need mechanics. We'd want mechanics there. We'd also potentially want to try and get the passengers to their destination. Need some other jets. Who's broadcasting on the guard frequency? Do you know what? That's really annoying. So whilst I'm sorting this out, just going to change frequency there. Yeah, so Manchester, we're not a million miles away from Manchester, obviously we've just passed that. Gatwick is further down. It will be down to ops to tell us where they want us to go, so we can basically make that decision and say, do you know what, Manchester is literally, we can see it's about 65 miles away. Manchester might be the place where we're now just going to have to divert and get in. So what's the benefit of that? Obviously It's close by, get there quickly, nice long runway, plenty of other aircraft, mechanics on standby, etc. So this is the kind of thing that hopefully they would be able to fix. Risk of Manchester, the weather there is good, so nothing wrong with that. It's a nice long runway as well. They've got emergency services that can cover all eventualities. The other alternate of doing this, of course, is going to London Gatwick. Gatwick's a bit busier, particularly with the airspace and stuff like that. Personally, for me, I know Manchester better than I do Gatwick, so I'm happy to go to Manchester than I am Gatwick, and if that's what Ops are happy with as well, then I think that's a good idea. Dark Fury says go to Doncaster. What happens if we do nothing? Well, technically, we could still continue to Nice. We could continue, but there's always that big what if. What if something goes wrong? Plus which, the approach into Nice is more complicated, and if you get that wrong, we then have to go around and try again. The problem with going around, I can't get that gear back up. Once it's down, it's stuck. So I don't particularly want to be dragging my landing gear on a go around in Nice. So let's. I think we're going to have to discount that as an option. So let's commit. Let's make the decision. We are going to divert, and we're going to divert to Manchester for all the reasons that we discussed a bit earlier. So what are we going to do? Well, first of all, we are going to do the landing calculation, make sure we can get in. We need to check how heavy we are as well, make sure we're not overweight. If so, do we sit here and circle for a bit, burn that fuel, or do we risk overweight, an overweight landing? And yeah, I think that's our next shout. Work through the landing performance, see what weight we're going to be, and then we're going to divert to Manchester. So I apologise everyone that wanted to go to Nice. That's not happening, and I don't think we've ever had this happen on stream before. So let's do our landing distance procedure and check out how heavy are we at the moment. So we've got let's call it 5.8 ton. And our zero fuel weight was 58.8, was it? Let's have a look. 58.8, yeah. So 5,860 plus. So we've got a landing weight right now of 64,360. So technically we're not overweight. We are just within the limits of the airframe, as the max landing weight for us is 64.5 for this one. Yeah, 64.5. So yeah, that's we're at 64,360 now. By the time we've got down, we're going to be under. Okay, so we don't need to do an overweight landing procedure. Let's have a look then at the arrival performance. So Manchester, Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. Grab the METAR. Winds 280 at 2, so it's light winds. That's going to be 2-3 right for our landing. Got temporary rain and drizzle. Okay, well this is interesting because if it's raining, the SOPs are to test it with medium to poor. Landing weight is, let's go 64.3. And down at the bottom there, landing distance procedure, hydraulic system, we've lost the green system. So brake mode, max manual applied due to failure calculations. That's fine. Okay, so landing distance required is 2579. Landing distance available is 2897. So that's going to get us in. Bear in mind that was also worst case scenario with medium to poor. It's not dry, but it is good, and we'll probably look to land flaps 4, so we're a little bit slower than normal. Flaps 3, I mean, to be fair, we can get in with flaps 3. if we need to. And to be honest, that's not a bad idea. Reason I'm going to go flaps 3 now I know that I can is because if we had to go around, I'm then going to retract the flaps 1 stage to flaps 2, meaning that we have a much better go around capability, particularly if I've got the landing gear stuck out of the aircraft. So flaps flaps 3 that is. So let's go through and sort out what's happening here. So we're obviously in the hold here at Honolulu. I'm now going to we're now going to change this. So let's leave the aircraft in the hold. New destination: Echo Golf Charlie Charlie. Insert that. 23 right. We're at Honolulu at the moment, and I think the Elvos one mic comes in. I think it might come in via Honolulu. I can't recall if it does or not. It's not a million miles away. Yes, so we will. Yeah, we'll just fly this route in. No via. Insert. It's telling us to decelerate, enter destination data. Yeah, that's just because it assumes that we're far too close, and that's fine. We're going to get down in the hold and go direct to Elvos once we're happy to continue. Okay, so flight plan has all been updated. I'm going to set the box up here now. I don't want to be doing it en route, so we want the Mike Charlie Tango from there. Echo Golf Charlie Charlie 2 3 right. So we're only 70 miles away. Cost index 4, and let's fill out the approach phase. So QNH is 1026. Temperature is 9. Wind is currently 280 at 2. And I apologise, I know I'm really not looking at the chat as we're sorting out this this little emergency failure. Now we're going to go config 3. Now I just need the charts for Manchester. So let me grab those. If you're liking the fact that my aircraft is broken, guys, then please don't forget to hit the hit the like button. Okay, arrival into Manchester 2-3 right. Let me just grab the minimums. Is 449. Runway visual range 550. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, VAT 145. So that's all set up. The box is done, and I'm happy to leave that. Okay, so we have applied the landing distance procedure. We know what's not working. Let's now brief how we're going to fly the arrival, what we're going to do differently compared to a normal arrival, and threats, etc. Okay, so as we're coming in, first thing, let's just look at the arrival itself. We're just going to sort of vector ourselves into Elvos, fly the Elvos approach, and then vector ourselves for the ILS approach from Dane. As I say, I know Manchester well, so I'm comfortable going here with the failure. So 3,500 feet is platform altitude, is also the MSA. It's a normal 3-degree glide, and we will vacate to the right after landing. The go around is straight ahead, 750 feet, right turn, track 356. Then as ATC tells us. Now that might not happen because I don't think ATC approach is on. Oh, it might be, but we'll check that out momentarily. Okay, that's the route we're going to fly. That's where we have decided to go. One more thing that I want to check now. We've made that decision, and perhaps had I not known that this, if this had happened a little bit later on in the flight, one of the things I would have wanted to check is how much time do we have to play around with. Well, because we got quite a lot of fuel on board, I knew we weren't really time critical. It's not a time critical failure, this one. We're burning 200 tons. No, we're not. We're burning 200 kilograms an hour at the moment. We've got about 2.5 hours endurance on board, so I'm not worried about just sat here circling for a while. So yeah, that's fine. Okay, threats and error management then. So as we're coming in, we're obviously going to make sure that we'll probably get under the profile as we go. I can't rely on spoilers. Well, I can, but spoilers 1 and 5 aren't working. So I'd rather not have to get down quickly using spoilers or anything like that. The flap slats we're going to configure early, and I'm going to fly this as a stabilized approach. The reason we're going to do that is because I've got to get the gear down, and that's not the normal procedure. I'm going to have to use the gravity gear extension for that. I want to get that down, make sure that's locked and happy, so it's one less thing to do, particularly as I'm a single pilot. So the plan will be sort of if we can, then a sort of a 10-mile file with flaps 2, gear down, and then we'll get flaps 3 in very shortly after that, because it will take time for those to extend, and then that should be fine. Once we have landed, then let's just be aware that we will have to use max manual braking because auto brake isn't going to work. Reversal 1 is also not working, so just be aware as we won't need to use max reverse thrust. But if I when we set that to idle, then if we had reverse 2 active, then there may be some the aircraft might veer to one side. So just be aware of that and be prepped for that with the rudder pedals. We've not lost loads of wheel steering, so we can get off the runway. That's fine. Do we need the fire trucks, emergency services? No, I don't think so. We're not going to stop on. We're not going to stop on the runway. We've lost all hydraulic fuel. It's gone. So it's not like it's leaking out and spilling all over the runway. So I think that is. I think that covers pretty much everything. Only other thing to mention as well. Once we're coming in, we're going to get the systems page flagged back up. And we might also get a master caution telling us as we're coming down that auto brake is not set. Well, it's not working. So just be aware of that. Okay, so we've committed. We know what we're doing. Let's get down and see what happens. Okay, let's wind us down and get our flight level 200. Thrust idle over descent, and we're going down in the hold. So 200 blue. Down we go. And relax. I can go back through the chat now. See what I missed. I can also now clear this page up. Tony says this is where if you use the add-on linker you'll be screwed with default Manchester scenery. That's true. Lula says don't forget to tell the folks down the back their holiday in south of France is actually starting in Manchester. That's a fair point. Obviously if we actually had real passengers and real cabin crew, I'd be sort of like calling them saying, right, we've got a problem, we'll have to divert to Manchester, aircraft's broke. Stupid aircraft. So we're going to get down, up, say, hopefully they've got another aircraft that will get them to Nice tonight, but it is going to be a later flight, and so we're going to have to apologise to the passengers that there is going to be a bit of a delay, but hopefully not too much. And if we can get them there within 3 hours, then you're not going to be owed too much compensation. Lulu, yeah, push the buttons till the scary lights go away. Yeah, just remove the bulb. Eyes of the Tower, what's been the fault? We've just lost all our green. We've had a hydraulic leak. All our green hydraulic fluid is now working its way deep into the Midlands farm fields. So the good people of the Midlands will be ingesting that in their bread at some point in the future. Sluminator, was the failure supposed to happen? No. No, we have failures that I always, when I'm flying the Phoenix aircraft, have failures enabled because it makes it a bit more interesting, doesn't it, and realistic, and that is essentially exactly what has happened tonight. So for those of you that were looking forward to Nice, I apologise. Now, we could go into the Ofcom as well and have a look at the QRH. There's nothing, though, that isn't in the ECAM, because I can't do a reset. I can't reset the pumps. I can't reset the tanks and fill it back up with hydraulic fluid. There's nothing in the reset tables. It's actually a no dispatch item as well to dispatch with green hydraulics in op. So, yeah. Not that the MEL makes a difference now, but it would do if we landed somewhere where the aircraft couldn't be fixed. So yeah, nothing in the QRH for this. Had we got something like a blue and green failure, or a yellow and green failure, then yes, we could have a look through the manuals for that, but no, not this one. Mad Dog says, at least it wasn't parts falling off the aircraft. No, that's good. Steel Melt, thank you for the follow, appreciate that. Angus, yeah, it happens out of the blue, which is why I like the Phoenix, for being unreliable. So, let me just do a quick check as we're going down. Have we got any ATC knocking about? Manchester North Tower is on. Manchester approach is not, so we'll just need the tower frequency. Mark says the failures just made it more interesting. The fact we've now got ATC is going to make it even more interesting. 120025. And we're going to squawk 7700. Although I'm not actually sure if that's allowed on VATSIM. We might have to double check and ask that. 120025. London Control, good evening, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. A320, and we're currently at 26,000 feet with a hydraulics failure. Looking now to get a divert up to Manchester, please, if possible.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, London Control, roger, descent level 200 and redirect Tango, November Tango, Trent, and then join the Elvis on mic arrival.
Send to flight level 200 and then direct Tango, November Tango, Trent, and we'll join the Elvis on arrival for runway 23. Thank you, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. Right, we've now got ATC, so squawk 7700. So they know there's something wrong.
Roger, Elvis 1 Lima for Liverpool, descent for level 200 to level by Elvis.
Elvis 1 Lima for Liverpool.
ATC control with the failure, that has made it much more interesting. And Dark Fury, who is an ATC for VATSIM, has said that it is loud, which is why now I've squawked 7700.
Very good evening to you, Shuttle 45 Charlie Whiskey, passing flight level 147 for 190 overhead, you took that.
That's not Nick, is it?
Shuttle 45 Charlie Whiskey, on climb flight level 190, Honolulu 1 Hotel, Heathrow.
Climb 5, flight level 190, Honolulu 1 Hotel, shuttle 45 Charlie Whiskey.
That sounds very much like Nick. Don't know if it is or not though. Eyes of the Town says, I believe you can't squawk 7500 because that's lost comms, isn't it?
London, good
No, it
evening.
isn't. That's hijack. 7600 is lost comms.
78 request clearance.
That would make sense that you can't squawk 7500. We don't want that on VATSIM.
Visual 663 Delta, Roger, standby.
Oh, is Nick working? That's what he's told you. Elliot, you went away. Oh, you missed all the fun.
Visual 166 Delta, cleared Amsterdam, match 3 anchor departure, squawk 4446.
Yeah, you've missed all the fun.
Clear
We've
to Amsterdam, match 3 Yankee and squawk 4446, easy 166 with that.
we've lost all our green hydraulics.
Easy 1663 Delta, correct.
What's the message we've just got there? Gate 4.
Easy 166
Fantastic.
with that, request push and start please.
Easy 166 Delta, push start approved, face east.
Push and start approved, facing to east, yeah. Easy 166 with that.
Mark, I did see the TUI. Yeah.
Easy 16 Whiskey, Pub, you happy to take a direct to Trent, Tango November Tango?
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. Yeah, we're happy to go direct Trent now, thanks.
Easy 528, route direct Nancy.
Okay, direct Trent.
Nancy, easy 528.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, descent flight level 120.
Descending flight level 120, easy 16 Whiskey Papa.
Shuttle 45 Charlie Whiskey, fly heading 180 degrees.
Okay, pop that into descent mode as we're well below the profile now, flight level 120. I don't mind being below the profile because we're going to have to start configuring the aircraft early. It's going to take a bit longer with the slats, flaps, etc. So trundle along the level and let them deploy.
London Control, Whiskey 45 Bravo, flight level 250, climbing through 280.
Whiskey 45 Bravo, London Control, Roger, route direct to Bevy, climb flight level 280.
Route direct to Bevy, climb flight level 280, Whiskey 45 Bravo.
Jan says, visited Nice in real life last week. Loved the approach along the beach line. Sadly, we're not getting that tonight. We should have, but now we're not. So if I am sorry to disappoint you all, and that we're not going to Nice. But if you have enjoyed it, nevertheless, then please don't forget to hit the like. Of course, if you're in the market for Innabel's scenery, all their aircraft, then you can use the link in the channel description or the video description at the top of the chat, or the video description down below, and support us at the same time.
1 Air 222, contact London Control, 129.430.
129.430, thank you very much, 1 Air 222.
I'm afraid it's a 3060 that we've got here.
Shuttle 45 Charlie Whiskey, resume my navigation direct to stop it, and when ready, descent to level 150, level by stop it.
Resume my navigation direct stop it when ready, flight level 150 by stop it, Shuttle 45 Charlie Whiskey.
Right, what was the QNH at Manchester? 1026.
Easy 16 X-ray Delta, request taxi please.
Easy 16 X-ray Delta, taxi Holland Point, Alpha 1 via Delta and Alpha.
Holland Point Alpha 1 via Delta and Alpha, Easy 16 X-ray Delta.
Easy 528 Mama to Unicom 122 decimal 8 bye.
Unicom 122 decimal 8, Easy 528, bye.
Okay, so we're really nicely below that profile now.
16 Whiskey Papa, continue on Unicom 122 decimal 8 bye.
122 decimal 8, thanks for the service. Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, bye bye. Back over to Unicom. So we've got no air traffic control now to guide us in, but the tower is still online, which is 11863. So I'm just going to get that ready. There we go. So at Dane, I believe we want to be, there's a constraint altitude at Dane, and we want to be flight level 80. So let's continue our descent now to Dane, flight level 80, and that should sort us out quite nicely there. Then from there we're going to vector ourselves in onto the ILS approach at Manchester. So I'm just looking at the chart again as we're doing this. MSA as we're coming in is 3-1, platforms 3-5, so that's going to be what we're going to head down to as we leave Dane. Remember, we're going to configure early, gravity gear extension. When we land, it's it's manual braking, and we've got in-op reversal 1. About 35 miles away. Right, 52 miles track mileage. So, yeah, profile's good. So I'm going to pull speed now 250 knots, and I'm just making sure we're ahead of the aircraft, more so than I usually would want to be. So I'm just activating that approach phase. That's now done. Landing system will get that on. India November November is identified. I'm a friend. Do I have a video of my graphics settings? I do. Yes, yes, that's on the YouTube channel. That's right. Start heading down into the cloud. Let's get rid of the. Let's get the anti-ice on. So visibility in Manchester is about 6 kilometres at the moment. So they've got a bit of a rain shower going on down there, which means it'll probably be outside my house in the next half an hour. Usually blows across. Oh, do you know what? My Streamlabs chat window just gone nuts. Suddenly, I was thinking, it's gone pretty quiet in the chat. Where's everyone gone? I just realised actually it's just not there anymore. So you see the profile now is coming down, that's fine. And my friend, what failure happened? We lost all our green hydraulic. We had a hydraulic leak, basically. As you can see, the green is empty. Here's a great question for you, though. We have a power transfer unit, which could power the green hydraulic side. So why do we turn it off and why don't we use it? Question there for you. Sam, would I say Active Sky is worth it? Ugh. I really don't like to be negative about any program. Developers work hard to bring stuff to the simulator and the community, but I think you maybe have to question the timing of its release. I would say, Sam, watch the video that I released a couple of days ago, and then you'll be able to make up your own mind on there. Alright, we're just meeting the profile now, and as you can see, that's starting to work for us. Okay, 10,000 feet, we've got our landing lights on. Lulu says, same reason we don't cross-feed when a fuel leak is suspected. Not quite, Lulu. So, the power transfer unit, I don't. You're moving across, aren't you, from Boeing to Airbus? But the power transfer unit doesn't transfer any liquid. There is no hydraulic fuel fluid actually transferred across. That can't happen. So they're all sort of isolated systems. I don't know how the PTU actually works, so basically it just transfers the power of the yellow system across to the green. It doesn't physically move any fluid. But the reason the PTU isn't on for this sort of prolonged length of time is because it would just overheat and then that would break. Bakia says, blimey, I'm a chef and a drummer. Don't be asking difficult questions. Sluminator, no fluid to power. Well, no, not. I mean, technically no, because you've got you would get the power from the yellow system being transferred over to the green system, but to have that running for a long period of time, you're going to end up overheating the PTU. Okay, thrust idle 11%, 5,000 blue. I'm going to leave Dane in a moment. Every day is a school day, Lulu. Yeah, but it's easy to see how you'd think that. You'd think that, well, we're now. It would transfer the actual fluid over, but no, it doesn't. Okay, heading 015. Kuna, what does real ops means? Anything special? It basically just means that we're flying it using all the real world procedures and operations and manuals and all the legal stuff that has to be done in real life. That's all that means. Sam says he can get the aircraft from A to B. Anything other than that, I'm clueless. That's fair. That's fair. Maloney, thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. Uncle Mass, are we close to landing? Sadly, yes. We shouldn't be. We should still have like another hour to fly down to the south of France. But as we've spewed out our green hydraulic fluid all over the English countryside, we're having to divert. Manchester it is. Okay, VS 1000. Skidding here, so you keep getting the ignition on the ECAM when it's not on during the approach and departure, is that correct? Yes, if you fly only if you fly in the IAE engines, it automatically comes on. That's not a bug, that is correct. Okay, 3,500 blue. Sam, how close were we to Nice before diverting? Oh, we were nowhere near. We were over Birmingham in the UK. Absolutely nowhere near. Living, Manchester is the Nice of the North. It's nice. Okay, let's start concentrating then. So, in all the excitement, I've not put the seatbelt signs on. Approach checklist. Bar F QNH is 1026. Seatbelt signs are on. Minimums 449. Auto brake doesn't work. And EFB is stowed. I mean, I could put the auto brake on. Yeah, no, I can't. It's bust.
Hi, Captain. The cabin is now secure for landing.
Okay, lovely, thank you. Okay, I've just pushed manage speed. We'll start slowing down.
Charles 23 Tango, are you going to be ready to depart on reaching Mike 1?
Yeah, type shuttle 2 for Tango.
Charles 23 Tango, roger. In that case, from Mike 1, the surface wind 280 degrees, 2 knots, right 23 right, clear takeoff.
Clear takeoff, runway 23
Okay, flaps 1, speed check, flaps 1.
Tango.
So that's just a reminder of all the broken systems.
Tower, Tower 122, and there's 10 miles out on INS. 23 right.
Tower 122, Manchester Tower, very good evening. Continue approach, runway 23 right, 1 departure ahead.
Speed 180.
Roger that, or continuing approach.
Remind me to set the spoilers, because I may forget that, because the trigger for me setting spoilers is lowering the landing gear, which I'm not doing in the normal way, so memory items aren't going to be the same. Okay, flaps 1, speed's checked. That's done. And we are going to get flaps 2 out in a moment as well. Cyan flight plan is now sequenced because we're direct the centre fix for 23 right. Mark, does the emergency gear drop take longer? A little bit longer. What we are probably going to get as well, I should brief this, is we are going to get we'll probably get an ECAM warning telling us that the doors, the landing gear doors, won't go back up. So it's going to tell us that they're still down, fuel calculations are now all off, and yeah. But again, disregard, because that is exactly what we expect. El Bapino says hello from France. I'm really sorry we're not coming to visit you. Not my fault. Rubbish aircraft. Okay, flaps 2, speed's checked, flaps 2.
Shuttle 23 Tango, there's no further ATC available for you, unfortunately. So 122 Unicom 122 Decimate, have a very good flight and a very good night.
122 Decimate, bye bye. Shuttle 23 Tango.
Okay, glide salt lock blue, Cat 2. Autopilot 1 and 2.
Taro 122, surface wind 280 degrees, 2 knots, runway 23 right, clear to land.
Land 28 right to Tower 122.
Dark says the landing gear doesn't lock with gravity extension, are you screwed? Well, it's going to be a more interesting landing, that's for sure. It'll lock, it's heavy enough. But we will check, obviously. Manchester Tower, good evening, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, establishing now ILS 23 right 12 miles, and due to a hydraulics failure we will be making a slightly slower approach than normal and reducing to final approach speed in the next couple of miles.
Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, Manchester Tower, very good evening. Roger, that's all copied. You've got one in front, he's approximately 7 miles ahead of you, so you're okay to reduce speed now.
That's great, thank you, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. Okay, so then with that, let's sort ourselves out. So we'll get the lights on, and now gravity gear extension. Just down here. Spoilers armed. Manage speed, flaps 3. Speed's checked. Should have said as well, glide slopes captured, missed approach altitude 3,500 feet, so that's already set. Lulu says get them to roll the trucks just so you can feel important. Okay, normal brakes, auto brakes, not working. 3 greens, we've got the green triangles as well. That's the ECAM that I was expecting. Landing closed, doors closed, so fuel FMS prediction is unreliable. Landing gear recycle. Yeah, we'll pop it down, it won't make a blind bit of difference. Okay, and cancel master caution, and clear ECAM. Six-mile final, runway is coming into view now. Landing checklist, so the cabin is secured, go around altitude 3,500 feet, set. ECAM memo, landing, no. Five miles. So hi, am I using the wing? Not today, no.
Welcome to Manchester, taxi right Alpha Charlie Lima to stand 2.
Thank you very much. Alpha Charlie Lima stand 22 confirm. Your tower 122.
Sorry, 122, just get rid of one of the twos, it's just stand 2.
Roger that. Stand 2.
What's about Alpha have control?
No worries, good night.
1,000.
And Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, the surface wind is 280 degrees, 2 knots right, 23 right, clear to land.
Clear to land, 23 right, Easy 16 Whiskey Papa. So wind's just going to spin round from the right a little bit more. Just a reminder, manual brakes and no reverser 1. Stable. As well, just worth briefing in case we had to go around, then we can't get the gears up.
Minimum.
Continue.
100.
Light slow.
40, 30, 20, retard.
Right on the hump. Okay, manual brakes. Spoilers deployed. Reverse 2 green. Check the brake temperatures as we come off.
Cheers for the agency. I'm going to sign off. Good night.
Thanks so much for flying. Good night. Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, very warm welcome to Manchester. Taxi Alpha Charlie Lima, stand 4.
Alpha Charlie Lima, stand 4 Easy 16 Whiskey Papa, thank you.
Okay.
Right, I'll just sort ourselves out with where we are in a moment. Okay, he wants us on Alpha Charlie and Lima for stand 4, which is up here.
However, we ask that you remain seated until the fasten seatbelt sign has been switched off. Portable electronic devices for messaging, calls...
If you are on your way out then, Nagos, please do hit that like button before you go. Got you down safely. Just at the wrong airport.
Do take care opening the overhead lockers as items may have moved during flight. Smoking is not permitted until you reach a designated...
And I'm just going to slow the aircraft down a bit just whilst we start turning these things off. TCAS, weather radar and such. There we are. Organ Aviator, good night my friend. See you next time. Thank you, Lulu. Have to start failing things in your Fenix A320 and see how you get on. Most things, I would imagine, are still going to be very similar. And of course, the Airbus is a cheat, isn't it, compared to Boeing? What with the ECAM? Cyphers, why did we do no reverse and manual brakes? Because we had lost hydraulic pressure, so we hadn't got any auto brakes, only manual brakes available to us. Really looking forward to Mako Simulations Manchester version 2 when that comes out. Lulu, yeah, they're all big Cessnas at the end of the day, just with bigger engines and a few more computers. Mark says he was having a nap. Are we at Nice already? We're at somewhere nice, but not Nice. Sorry, guys. I think somebody else will be taking you to Nice. Won't be me. Right, get the taxi light off. I just realised whilst we were doing that I'd not started the APU. Oh, the passengers are going to be cold and very, very sad. Whoever the MOC is on call overnight, he's got a busy shift ahead of him. Roll the aircraft a tad closer. There we are. Okay, parking brake is on. APU, give that a second, that'll be up and running. There we are. APU's up and running, so let's shut this knackered aircraft down. Has it been 3 minutes? Yes, it has. Flaps 1. Engine 1. Engine 2. Seatbelt signs off.
Cabin crew disarm doors.
That's below 10%. Beacon light can come off. Pumps off. External power is available. Let's get that connected up. Squawk 2000. Standby. Well, I'm not going out there. I'm just going to stay and hide in here. Those passengers are not going to be happy. Company message probably saying, why are you at the wrong airport? Gunnar, what's the difference between a real ops and a normal event? So if I'm doing real ops, I'm usually flying Easyjet, and we're following all their standard operating procedures and things. So there we are. That's the difference. We try and make the real ops is basically trying to be as realistic as possible in as per real world operations, just as we did tonight. Well, guys, sorry we're at the wrong airport, but there we are. It's been emotional. hope you enjoyed that. Something to say. It's been a bit different, hasn't it? Look, the baggage crew loading. Unloading off all of the cargo and things from our knackered aircraft. MOC's got a long night ahead. Hopefully these passengers can pick up another aircraft to take them to Nice at some point without too much of a delay. But yeah, something different for you guys tonight, which is well, it's been quite fun, hasn't it? The good thing is it all went well. We're safely on the ground, and apart from passengers being upset, then I think we'll say that's been a successful flight, just to the wrong airport. Guys, thank you so much for watching. A huge shout out as well to those who have donated, contributed, and helped support the channel this evening. As always, our Easyjet Simpilot channel memberships are channelship members are absolutely amazing. Remember, if you want to support the channel further, you can do so, and also get great scenery from Innerbuilds, using the link in the chat at the top, and also in the channel description down below. Until next time, guys, hopefully I shall see you when my aircraft's working again. Look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.